All right, it's been a long time. Where have you been?
Well, that's a great question. I've been at school and I've been traveling and I've just been super busy lately. I went away for our winter break, went down to Mexico and I got super tan. That was super fun. Went to the beach like every single day. And then since then, I've just been working with so much school. Like, for example, tonight I have a project for my finance class and we get to start working at 5 p.m. and we'll stop working at 11 or 12 p.m. So, 12 a.m. 11 p.m. or 12 a.m., which is crazy.
That is a long time to be working on the same project.
Too long, in my mind.
Honestly. Well, we're glad to have Woke back. We're glad that you're here. Today we're going to talk about what we are learning in school. Something that is either interesting to us or just something that we think you might like to hear.
Yeah. Come learn with us. We're students at an American university, and we want to tell you a little bit about what that's like.
So, Guo, what's something that you've learned recently?
So, it's funny you mentioned that, because there's something I'm actually super interested in right now. I'm in a class called Finance 410. 410 is like the level. In America, we have different levels of classes. Like 100 level is basic entry college level classes, university level classes. 200 is a little bit harder. 300 is a little bit harder. 400, by anything like 400 plus is like super intense. So I'm in, let's see, 3 400 level classes right now, and they're hard. And one of them, yeah, Finance 410. It's investments, and it's all about asset management and investing in the stock market. And something we learned about recently was how these Bloomberg terminals work. For any of you finance nerds out there, you may have heard of Bloomberg. And what Bloomberg is famous for, they have a news channel, which is famous. It's got lots of information about finance and markets and money. But it also has technology, software that's super valuable. And they make this device called a Bloomberg terminal. It's a computer software that's extremely expensive. It's $32,000 USD per terminal. And so if your company wants to use one, they have to buy at least one of these, and it's $32,000. At my university, we have 7 of these terminals. So if you do some math there, that's a little over $200,000 a year that our school pays for these terminals. But they're very high tech, and they do some amazing things. They figure out, okay, what is the price of the stock right now, and they find out what they think the equilibrium price should be. Equilibrium means like level price. So there's like a demand for the stock, there's a supply for the stock and a demand for the stock, and the price is where where the 2 points meet in the middle. That's what they think the equilibrium is. And it uses all these assumptions about how much money the stock is going to make in the future to determine how much the stock is worth right now. And so, for example, we just did one that was a screenshot from 2017 when Apple stock was $159. And using the DDM model, we figured out that the actual equilibrium price at that time was $111. And so it was way overpriced at that time. Unfortunately, it's not always super accurate, because if you know anything about the stock market, Apple stock has gone way up since then. And so it might have been smart in the time, if you had this technology, to sell or short your stocks so that you can make money on the difference between the closing price and the equilibrium price. But it actually turned out that Apple stock prices just continued to go up, and ever since then they're like way more expensive now. So that's a lot of finance jargon, but it's really cool because something that's neat, my teacher actually taught me how to build this model in Excel on my computer. Mm-hmm. So I can basically do everything that model does for free on my computer.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
The stock market is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's up and down constantly. So I got into the S&P 500.
Nice.
Like,
Good.
in December, I think. and it was pretty high, and then it just started dropping. I was like, oh no, and now it's back up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you just keep it in for the long term, and everything will be fine. But it's like, it's this game of emotions. You're on this roller coaster of like, should I take it out? Should I put it back in? Like, how do I do that? But it's been interesting to see how it works for me.
Yeah.
Because I've never done investing.
Do you put money in every month, or do you just have a little bit in right now?
I have a little bit in right now. My plan was to do like monthly additions to it, but I don't know. Because it shot up again. So it's like, do I want to pay for it now, or is it just going to drop again and then I can buy then? And then it's...
Yeah. But
I haven't decided yet.
It's just smart to put money in because the market's going to go up and down, but in general, it goes up almost always.
Yeah.
My parents actually started a fund for me when I was little where they put money in monthly ever since I was born. And when I turned 21, they stopped. And it's crazy how much it's grown since, I mean, it's had 23 years to grow. So you can just see over time how much it compounds and makes more and more money. It's fun for me. It's cool, I think.
It's a cool thing. I feel like, who was it? Was it Einstein that said the quote about compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world?
Yeah.
It's amazing how it really does just like stack on top of itself, those percentages over time. But
yeah. I would love to hear more about investing in Vietnam because that would be pretty cool. I don't know how it works there. But what's something cool that you learned about recently in school?
Right now, I study advertising, so I'm like diving into idea generation. So, like I told you a little bit earlier, but I'm working on an assignment where I have to generate 100 ideas for one brand. And really what this project is to get your mind flowing, because a lot of the times when people try to have ideas, they judge them too soon. They're like, I'm trying to come up with the best idea immediately, and by doing that, they limit themselves to what they can produce. So it's been kind of crazy, because you have to do research to figure out, okay, what is this brand about? What are some things that I could combine to make something new? And I feel like that's a lot of what creativity is taking existing things and just pushing them together in ways that haven't been done before. And it's a brutal process, because you can't really force creativity.
Yeah.
It kind of has to happen in the background. So one of the things we're talking a lot about is working with your subconscious. So like the conscious mind is when you're actively engaged, you're actively thinking about something. It's like, okay, I have this problem, how do I want to solve this? Whereas subconscious, you're going to be stepping into, I'm doing the dishes, but I'm in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking about, how do I solve this brand's problem? But you're not actively thinking, how do I do that? And then when you come back to it, you start working on it actively again, and all the subconscious thinking has put these weird things together that you just discover later, if that makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
So it's an animal. It's an animal of a process, but I've enjoyed it. I don't know if it's as intense as the stock market and algorithms.
That's just fun for me. That's just fun for me. Well, I think it's cool because, like you said, like it's hard to force an idea, and it's also really easy to dismiss an idea. And so, like, for this channel is a good example of that. There's probably plenty of people that have had an idea to make a YouTube channel, but just dismissed it because they thought it would take too much time or whatever. But here we are. We've made a YouTube channel, and it's been really fun. We've had a lot of success, and some of our videos do super well, and some of them don't do very well. But it's just fun.
And if you feel so inclined, please subscribe. We would love your support. We love making content for you because it helps us connect with Vietnam in a way that we can't while we're in America.
Have you done any cool ads lately for any companies? You did that one for like Porsche or whatever a few months ago.
Let's see. Recently, I haven't made like a super solid like TV spot, but I did work on a short film for one of my classes where I explored the experience of grief. So after you lose someone that's close to you, it's like, what does that emotion feel like? So it's kind of a story about this guy that sees a flash of someone walking by and they're like, oh, is that someone I know? Do I recognize them? Because I feel like that's a common experience after you lose someone, is like you start seeing them in places, but they're not there anymore. So this guy follows, sees like a vision of sorts, like a hallucination of the other guy that is dead in the story playing guitar. And they have this moment where it's like just a happy moment of when life is good, when everything's right. And then that guy disappears and the guitar is left as a guitar body that doesn't have strings or anything. And it goes into a wood shop showing the process of building the guitar but not getting it all the way done. And then that's where it ends.
That's sad.
Ends early.
Yeah.
And death is a hard experience. Like, not to say that I've died, but like experience someone else dying it's hard. It hurts. And you don't know how to process it. But for me, that project was a way of processing, because I was able to get those hard emotions out and put them into an art form. So I'm not just bottling it up and holding it in, but I was able to get it out.
That's sweet.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. It's been super fun to talk to you guys again. It's been a while, but it's been fun to share with you a little bit about what we're learning in school. Mm-hmm. We'd love to keep chatting with you if you have any questions about what school is like here. If you want to have more of these videos, they're a little bit more advanced. We'd be happy to make these because they're fun for us. But let us know if you have any questions or if there's any specific videos you want to see. Sweet. That's 13 minutes.
That's all it. And if it's all